Okay, so you're getting ready for this interview for an animal welfare inspector position.
Right.
And that's amazing.
Yeah.
Like, it's a career where you can make a real difference for
Yeah.
animals. But we know those interviews can be tough.
They can be very tough.
So we're diving into how to tackle those questions head on, with some help from RoleCatcher's guides to help you land that job.
It's a field that requires a very, very unique blend of compassion and resilience.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to encounter both heartwarming and heartbreaking
Well,
situations.
for sure.
So being prepared is key.
Absolutely. So let's jump right into it with some common interview questions that RoleCatcher highlights in their guide.
Okay.
Question 1. What inspired you to become an animal welfare inspector?
Right.
This one seems simple, but it's a chance to go beyond like a generic answer.
Yeah. Think back to a specific moment that solidified your passion.
Mm-hmm.
Was it a rescue story, volunteering at a shelter,
Mm.
maybe even a personal experience? Share that story.
Yeah.
Interviewers, they want to see that genuine dedication, not just hear that you love animals.
Right. It's about connecting with them on an emotional level.
Exactly.
And RoleCatcher also suggests, preparing for follow-up questions.
Right.
So they might ask how that story, relates to your skills or experience that you've had.
Right. Having a concise, impactful anecdote about your why will make you memorable.
Totally.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now for question 2. What does the role of an animal welfare inspector entail? It might seem like they just want you to repeat the job description,
Sure.
but there's more to it.
Yeah, it's about demonstrating a deeper understanding.
Okay.
They want to see that you've thought about the day-to-day realities, the challenges, the less glamorous
And then
aspect.
nitty-gritty.
Jax.
So go beyond the basics. Like, this is where you can mention the challenging work environments,
Yes.
the importance of working with different agencies, maybe even touch on the emotional toll the job can take.
Yes, show them you understand the complexity of the role. You're not just there to play with puppies.
Right.
You are investigating cruelty. You're enforcing laws.
Yeah.
You are advocating for animals in need.
It's a tough job.
Yeah.
Speaking of challenging situations, question 3 is a big one. How do you handle situations where you suspect animal abuse?
Mm-hmm.
This job requires incredible emotional intelligence.
Absolutely. They need to see that you can handle the emotional weight of these situations while remaining professional and objective.
Right.
Highlight the importance of following protocol, working with law enforcement, and documenting evidence thoroughly.
Yeah, it's a delicate balance between advocating for the animal
Yeah.
and making sure you're taking the right legal steps.
Precisely.
And then question 4 gets into the hands-on aspect.
Yeah.
What is your experience with animal handling and restraint?
Right. Yeah.
You're going to encounter animals of all temperaments.
Yes.
Some scared or even aggressive.
Of course.
So,
Be honest about your experience level. Highlight any specific training you've had. If you're less experienced, focus on your eagerness to learn and your understanding the importance of safety for both you and the animal.
and that willingness to learn is key.
Yes.
Now, RoleCatcher can really come in handy here because their AI analyzes job descriptions
Uh-huh.
and suggests improvements for your resume and cover letter using the right keywords to get past those AI screeners,
Just like having a personalized career coach.
right?
And it's especially helpful in a competitive field like animal welfare.
Totally.
You want your application to stand out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Question 5 focuses on staying current. How do you stay up to date with animal welfare laws and regulations?
Right.
This field is constantly changing.
It's constantly evolving. It
Sure.
shows a dedication to continuous learning.
Right.
Mention organizations like the National Animal Care and Control Association, or NACA,
Yeah.
the American Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals, or ASPCA publications. You follow training programs you participated in.
Yeah. Demonstrate that you're passionate enough to stay informed on your own time.
Exactly.
Okay, on to question 6. How do you handle conflicts with pet owners or other stakeholders? You're going to encounter difficult people in this job.
Oh, absolutely.
So they want to know you can de-escalate tense situations while remaining professional and prioritizing the animal's well-being.
It's about finding that balance between enforcing regulations
Yeah, right.
and showing empathy.
It is. And maybe have a specific example ready,
Great point.
just in case.
Yeah.
Okay, question 7. It's a classic for a reason. How do you prioritize your workload as an animal welfare inspector?
Right.
You'll be juggling multiple cases, often under pressure and with limited resources.
Absolutely.
So how do you even demonstrate those organizational skills in an interview?
Talk about your systems for staying organized, how you assess urgency, and even how you manage stress to avoid burnout, which is crucial in this field.
Yeah,
They want to see that you can handle a demanding workload effectively.
absolutely.
It's about working smarter, not harder. Right.
And recognizing your own limits.
Mm.
Okay, moving on to question 8. What are the key challenges facing animal welfare inspectors today? This one pushes you to think about the bigger picture.
Yeah. It shows that you're invested in the field as a whole,
Yes,
not just focused on, like, the day-to-day.
exactly. You could discuss things like limited resources,
Yeah.
changing public perceptions of animal welfare,
Mm-hmm.
the complexities of enforcing regulations, or even emerging issues like the impact of climate change on animals.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a really good point.
It's about showing that you're thinking critically about the field and its future.
Yeah, and that you're prepared to tackle those challenges head on.
Exactly. Now, question 9 gets into the importance of meticulousness. What steps do you take to ensure your inspections are thorough and accurate?
Okay.
Your documentation needs to be impeccable.
Right.
Because it often ends up in legal proceedings.
Oh, for sure. So how do you convey that attention to detail in an interview? Give them concrete examples. Do you use a checklist? Do you take detailed notes and photographs?
Yeah.
Double check your work. Explain your process for maintaining accuracy, especially under pressure.
Right.
Emphasize that you understand the weight of your observations, as they can significantly impact an animal's welfare in court.
That makes sense, because like a sloppy inspection could jeopardize a whole case.
Exactly.
Yeah.
On to the final question. This one really gets to the heart of the job. How do you prioritize animal welfare when there are conflicting interests at play?
Yeah, this is where things get really complex. You're not always dealing with clear-cut situations.
Precisely. You might have limited resources and have to make really difficult choices.
Oh, absolutely.
Or you might encounter an owner who loves their animal, but is struggling to provide proper care.
It's a lot of gray area.
Right.
So how do you even begin to approach this kind of question in an interview?
Honesty and empathy are key.
Okay.
Acknowledge the complexity of the situation. Mention relevant guidelines or laws and explain how you would weigh different factors.
Right. It's about, demonstrating your ability to think critically and ethically under pressure.
Yes.
You're not always going to have all the answers,
Right.
but they want to see your thought process.
Exactly. Show them you can make tough decisions while always striving to act in the animal's best interest.
Which is the goal.
Right.
Now, you've mentioned RoleCatcher a few times, and this is where their platform can truly help you shine, because they don't just provide these sample questions. They offer invaluable strategies for approaching them.
Absolutely. It's like having a secret weapon.
Right.
Their AI can analyze your answers,
Wow.
compare them to successful responses,
Okay.
and provide tailored feedback to make sure you're hitting those key points.
That's amazing. Now, before we wrap up, I want to touch on the career path of an animal welfare inspector,
Okay.
because this isn't a dead-end job.
No.
There's real potential for growth. And RoleCatcher's Career Guide does a great job outlining those different stages from entry-level to supervisory roles.
It's about setting yourself up for long-term success in this field.
Totally. So let's break it down. You typically start as an entry-level animal welfare inspector. What does that look like day to day?
So you'll be assisting more experienced inspectors.
Okay.
Gaining hands-on experience with investigations, animal care, and handling. It's all about building a solid foundation and learning the ropes from the ground up.
It's like an apprenticeship for animal welfare.
Exactly.
And then as you gain experience, you can progress to a junior animal welfare inspector role.
Right. You'll start conducting your own investigations, making more independent decisions, and potentially even specializing in a particular area of animal welfare.
Oh, I love that. Like becoming an expert in a specific type of animal or a certain area of enforcement.
Exactly.
That's really cool.
It allows you to focus your passion and become a valuable resource within your team.
Totally. And as you continue to excel, you might move into a senior animal welfare inspector position.
Right.
Which probably involves more leadership and management responsibilities.
Absolutely. You might be overseeing investigations, mentoring junior inspectors, maybe even advocating for policy changes within your organization or community.
Wow. So you can have a really big impact on shaping animal welfare practices?
You become a leader within the field.
That's amazing. And for those with a strong passion for leadership, there's the supervisory animal welfare inspector role.
Yeah.
This is the top rung.
Essentially, you're overseeing a whole team of inspectors, managing budgets, setting priorities, collaborating with other agencies. It's a demanding but incredibly rewarding role.
Wow. And through it all, from entry level to leadership, RoleCatcher is there to support you.
Absolutely.
There are guides on the different career stages, insights on transferable skills, and tips on showcasing accomplishments make them a valuable partner in your career growth.
They really emphasize the importance of continuous learning, and for good reason.
Right.
The field is always evolving,
Mm-hmm.
with new challenges and new approaches emerging all the time.
Totally.
Yeah.
And they highlight some specific ways you can demonstrate that commitment to growth.
Absolutely. Earning certifications like Certified Animal Control Officer or CAICO, Certified Humane Officer or CHO, or even a Certified Animal Welfare Administrator, CWA, can make a real difference in your career trajectory.
It's about investing in your expertise and showing potential employers that you're serious about this field. Now, something else that struck me from RoleCatcher's guide is the importance of networking.
Yes.
It's not just about what you know,
Right.
it's who you know.
Networking is crucial. Building those relationships with other professionals can open doors to new opportunities
Yeah.
and provide invaluable support throughout your career.
For sure. It can feel intimidating, though.
Yeah.
Do you have any tips for someone who might be new to networking?
Well, RoleCatcher has some great suggestions. Attending conferences and workshops is a fantastic way to meet like-minded people.
Okay.
Joining online forums or discussion groups, even something as simple as following relevant organizations on social media, can help you build connections.
It's about putting yourself out there,
Yes,
engaging with the community.
exactly. And don't underestimate the power of simply reaching out to someone you admire in the field.
Okay.
Most people are happy to share their experiences and offer advice. You might be surprised by how willing they are to connect.
Yeah, it's like building your own personal board of advisors.
Exactly.
Love that.
That.
Speaking of showcasing your dedication,
Hmm.
RoleCatcher also emphasizes the importance of highlighting your accomplishments,
Right.
which is something I think a lot of people struggle with.
Yeah.
We don't want to brag, but
But in a competitive job market, you have to be your own advocate. You need to show, not just tell what you bring to the table.
so how do you walk that line between showcasing your skills and sounding well braggy?
RoleCatcher suggests creating a portfolio of your work.
Okay.
If you've been involved in successful rescue or rehabilitation cases, document them.
Yeah.
You can also present at conferences, write articles, even maintain a professional website or blog.
That's a fantastic idea.
Yeah.
It's about letting your work speak for itself.
Exactly. It demonstrates your passion and your initiative, which employers really value.
Totally.
And it gives them concrete examples of your skills and experience.
This has been an incredibly insightful deep dive. I feel like we've covered so much ground.
It has.
From understanding the day-to-day realities of being an animal welfare inspector,
Right.
to tackling those tough interview questions, to mapping out a long-term career path.
Absolutely. It's been a pleasure discussing this important work.
With you as always.
Yeah.
And remember, you've got this.
You do.
With the right preparation, a little help from RoleCatcher, and a whole lot of passion, you'll be well on your way to acing that interview and making a real difference in the lives of animals. Good luck.